I will not do another scan that puts radiation on my body at all.
That's excellent. Just really knowing what you're putting in your body.
When I was diagnosed with cancer, I did nothing but flower because I didn't want the chemicals from any vape anywhere near me.
Yeah. Join us for our third and final installment of our talk with a cancer survivor and bodybuilder who shares how she beat cancer and stays fit. So like talking like other people, right? So there's someone else out there, I'm sure, you know, the other person that's been diagnosed with breast cancer. What kind of advice would you give them going into it?
Take your time. Like even if you are diagnosed with stage 3 or stage 4, like I was only stage 1, and that's because I found it. I don't do, and I'll repeat this again, I don't do scans anymore.
Okay.
Because radiation gives you cancer.
Yeah.
It does. And they make this new program that I've been following, this doctor, I wish I could tell you her name, but I cannot because I forgot. It's called QT imaging, and it does a 1,000 times better, like 3D scan. They're on the East Coast and they're in Tampa now, and it's called QT imaging, and a breast surgeon quit her practice to start this company.
Wow.
Because there's no radiation. And she was like, all these women are coming in here to get all these scans, and it's not helping, it's making them worse. So I won't get another mammogram, I won't get another breast MRI, I won't get another 3D scan. I will not do another scan that puts radiation on my body at all.
That's
ever.
excellent. Yeah. And the fact that like, it seems like you've went through such a learning journey on this as well.
Tons of rabbit holes.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I know that's uncomfortable. You know, they can be an uncomfortable because especially not knowing what's in front of you. You know, I can kind of relate in some ways. You know, my youngest son's autistic, and we did the same thing.
Yep.
It was about a year and some change of some real rabbit holes we went down to figure out why and what we're dealing with.
I was there.
You were there, I know. And so
I was helping.
I can relate, and I know that can be scary, but the learning you do along the way can change your life, and it sounds like
it does 100%, but it also doesn't change it for the good either.
Yeah,
because then you see people who, you know, are obese, or you're seeing people that are eating these things, and you're just like biting your tongue the whole time, and that's, you know, another reason why I left my last job. Like, they don't have any, I don't even know the word I want to use, like, you know, they put you on a wellness call of some sort, and then you walk out of the wellness call and there's donuts and crap all over the table when you're trying to teach them about diabetes. Like, it blew my mind. Yeah. Like, I just can't fathom, like, why you would want to put people on this giant sugar high and then expect them to go do work. Like, so yes and no. Like, it helps me, but the people around me get to suffer.
Well, you know, like, and it kind of goes back to this too. You know, you can't help somebody who doesn't want help.
I know.
You know, at the end of the day, like, the best you can do is hope for the best for them.
Yeah.
And give them the information if they're open to it, and hope they do something with it. And if not,
that's what I try to do. I do. I try to educate as much as I can, as much as I know, or as much as I've been taught. I only know as much as I've read and the research that I've done. And I guess the biggest thing that bothers me is when I tell somebody I'm vegan and they tell me that tofu has estrogen.
Yeah. Because you know, I did the plant-based for a while.
I want to scream. It makes me literally want to rip my hair out. Like, maybe you should do your research before you open your mouth, is what I really want to say most of the time, because it doesn't. It doesn't. Like, it doesn't. And it doesn't make men grow man boobs. And it doesn't make men have higher estrogen. Like, it just doesn't. And
then the other thing too, people got to consider as well. And when you consider a plant-based anything, really any of your food, really, you know, understanding what goes into the manufacturing of it. Like, is it organic? I mean, organic makes a big difference if it's really organic. And I know that can be nuanced as well, but just really knowing what you're putting in your body, I think that's the key. Like Lisa, I mean, you're even down to the radiation. You know, you're being very conscientious of that, and I think that's so critical. But most people aren't intentional. And I think the good thing, it sounds like, is it made you more intentional with what you're doing with your body. Like,
awareness, for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's critical. I think it's critical for everybody.
When I went holistic in the beginning, I got with a holistic doctor, and I did a bunch of different consultations with different people, and they all said the same thing. If you don't think that you gave yourself cancer, you're wrong. You weren't born with it, and it just showed up. So it's something that you're doing. And it didn't hit me, and I was like, ew, like, who is this guy? He's not wrong. They're not wrong. I was on this sugar-free kick. It doesn't have any calories. Oh my gosh, it was full of chemicals. Of course I gave myself cancer. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Of course I did. But not anymore. Like I won't even, most of the time, if it doesn't, unless I'm having like, I always say in moderation, I'm going to have a cheat meal. I'm going to go out for a vegan pizza. Like I'm going to do those things, but do I do it every month? No. Do I do it every week? No. Do I do it once in a while? Sure. My boyfriend's birthday is this coming weekend. Are we going to go up north and have a good time? Of course I am. Am I going to drink? Probably not a lot. Like I don't even drink that much anymore. And if I do, it's only red wine.
Yeah.
And for health reasons, it says that, alcohol is the worst for people with breast cancer, but a glass of red wine isn't terrible.
Yeah.
So I try to stay away from booze. I try to stay away from anything that's not red wine. And that makes me feel better. It also
awesome.
helps me sleep better.
That's awesome. No, that's great. So I just want to kind of leave it. Any final thoughts or any goals that you want to share that you're working on with bodybuilding or just anything that you want to talk about with medical marijuana?
I would just say don't be afraid of it. Like don't. Yeah. I was one of the first people when this place opened to get my license because I didn't want to break the rules. Like I didn't want to like get caught with it and go to jail. Like I would have rather done it the right way, and I did. And I've had my license for, as you said, this place opened in 16.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got my license in either the end of 16 or the beginning of 17 when this place didn't even exist. And I've had it ever since. I've renewed it every year, and I've not had to pay for it. So I pay the $77 or whatever it is by the state, but I've referred so many people to this place that I haven't had to purchase or the renewal for my license in 5 years.
Wow. Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
And this is something we really believe in here. Here when people come here, the goal is to educate. Not to just certify you and push you out the door, but really we want to educate you. We want you to have a great experience.
Yeah.
Because you're right. A lot of people come in and they're nervous, they're scared. Because they never tried it before, or the majority of people in the program are 60 and over. And a lot of them thought this was the devil's lettuce as well.
For sure.
So when people come in here, they're going to feel at ease with the process because we're going to sit down, we're going to take our time with them, explain what this is. They're going to be able to see the doctor and then get a bit of an education.
Yeah, I would definitely say don't start out with an edible because you don't know how it's going to affect you. You don't know how fast your metabolism is. You don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. If it is something and you don't want to smoke, I would say start with some tincture.
Yeah.
Like, because you can control how much you're putting under your tongue or what you're putting it in or something of that nature. But don't outrule all of the things. Like, you can counteract it with CBD. You can, make it not feel as good or make it not as strong. Like, all the things. Like, I didn't know tincture existed. Like, I started out just flower. And when I was diagnosed with cancer, I did nothing but flower because I didn't want the chemicals from any vape anywhere near me.
Yeah.
But then I realized that it's probably not that great for my lungs at this point. So then I'm thinking, what am I going to do? So I did the tincture and the gummies because I didn't want to cough. Yeah. I didn't want to feel all of those things. But I'm a fan of all of it. Like I'm a fan of all of it.
People say, you're in the medical marijuana space, so it must be pretty cool. I'm like, well, it goes a lot farther than smoking a joint, I promise. There's a lot to this. And you bring up a good point. CBD can neutralize the effects of THC, and I think everybody needs to know that.
And not everybody has to walk around smelling like weed.
No.
Like, it's not a thing.
It's
like,
not.
Even the vapes smell like blueberries. Like, you can get different flavors, and the tinctures have different flavors, and, like, it's not like it used to be.
No, it doesn't have to be the stigmatized thing where people are afraid of it.
And a lot more people do it than people know.
That's the other part. There's a lot of people out there that you wouldn't guess.
Sure.
There's so many people I knew that didn't even know I was in this space until way later, and just because it never came up. It never came up in conversation. Now I'm super vocal about it, and I just think people need to understand this. Yeah. This goes a lot farther than just this getting high and going having fun. You can do a lot more with this, and you can really help heal yourself, be it your mindset or your physical body. There's a lot you can do.
A lot of people didn't know that I was completely high at the gym. Like, it's 4 a.m. If they just thought I was tired, and I'm like, no, that's why I don't talk to you. Like, sorry.
Meanwhile, you're getting ready for shows.
Like
ready to rock.
It was just a mental thing. Like, I was preparing myself. I was trying to feel that connection, and it worked every time. Yeah. I haven't done it yet recently because I'm nervous. Like now I haven't, since I haven't smoked in so long. I just use it now. I'm going to be 42 this year, so I'm in, that perimenopausal stage, which is an awful feeling for a woman, and sleep is not my friend. So the indica really helps me. But yet again, I don't like to cough. Like, it doesn't, the dry mouth that gives you in the night when you go to sleep, it just doesn't make me feel great like it used to, because I was used to it. Yeah. So tincture comes into play really good. And I always, I actually use your guys's CBD in the evenings, and I've been used that for quite some time.
That's cool.
I probably need some more.
Well, I'm so glad that you're doing well. And gosh, it's so great to see you again.
You as well.
And thank you so much for joining us in the show.
You're welcome, anytime.
And I'm looking forward to getting this out there. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe out there. And we got more amazing content coming your way.